What's up, Commanders fans? Welcome back to Commanders HQ, your home for all the latest and most exclusive Washington Commanders updates straight from the heart of Ashburn. Before we get into today's big story, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications because this community is growing fast and you don't want to miss a single update from your favorite team. Now, let's talk about it. This Commander squad has been pushing itself week after week, constantly refining, improving, and finding ways to bring better results on the field. Dan Quinn's group is determined to turn potential into production, and as the team prepares for Monday Night Football against the Chicago Bears, there is a lot of buzz and a fair amount of concern. Because while Washington's confidence is high coming off that big win over the Chargers, the injury report has Commanders Nation holding its breath. It's been one of those seasons, folks. The Commanders just can't seem to catch a break on the injury front. We already knew Terry McLaurin wasn't expected to play against Chicago. That alone was a tough blow. But now, late in the week, Deebo Samuel Sr. has been added to the injury report with a heel injury and is officially listed as questionable for Monday night. According to NFL insider Tom Pelissero, the issue popped up recently. And while it's not considered serious long-term, it's enough to put his availability in doubt for Week 6. That's a big deal because Deebo has been the heart and soul of this offense in McLaurin's absence. Through 5 games, he's been Jayden Daniels' go-to guy, hauling in 30 catches for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's done it all, catching passes, breaking tackles, and setting the tone with his trademark physical style. And now, Washington faces the possibility of heading into a primetime showdown without any of its top 3 wideouts. That's right, Noah Brown has already been ruled out, McLaurin is sidelined, and now Deebo's status is up in the air. That means it's all hands on deck for the rest of this receiving corps. If Deebo can't go, the Commanders' receiver room is going to look very different under the bright lights of Monday night. Luke McCaffrey, the second-year slot receiver, has quietly become one of the most reliable young weapons in the offense. Every time he's been asked to step up, he's answered the call, running crisp routes, showing toughness over the middle, and building chemistry with Jayden Daniels. If Deebo sits, Luke could become the de facto wide receiver 1 against Chicago. Beyond McCaffrey, rookie Jalen Lane and veteran Chris Moore are the only other healthy receivers on the active roster. It's not ideal, but it's a chance for these depth guys to show what they're made of. Moore brings experience and reliability, while Lane's speed might give the Bears something new to think about. Washington's offense might need to get creative. Expect Ben Sinnott and Zach Ertz to play bigger roles at tight end, and don't be surprised if we see more running back screens or jet sweeps designed to get the ball into playmakers' hands quickly. This offense is going to have to lean on scheme, not star power, at least for one more week. Let's be honest, Commanders fans, this team has been through the ringer. Jayden Daniels has already missed 2 of the first 5 games with a knee injury. Austin Eckler is done for the year with a torn Achilles. Chris Rodriguez Jr. has been banged up. And yet somehow, this team is 3-2. Not perfect, but absolutely competitive. That tells you a lot about the culture Dan Quinn has built. No excuses, no panic, just next man up. This group refuses to fold, and that's exactly what makes Monday's matchup so intriguing. Because while the injuries are frustrating, they're also forcing new leaders to emerge. Guys like Luke McCaffrey, Bill Krosky-Merritt, and rookie corner Trey Amos are getting meaningful snaps and growing fast. If they can pull off another win short-handed, it'll say a lot about where this franchise is headed. Now, let's not overlook the opponent here. The Chicago Bears are suddenly one of the most unpredictable teams in football. After a rocky start to the season, they've rattled off back-to-back wins against the Cowboys and the Raiders. Head coach Ben Johnson has started to find a rhythm with his rookie quarterback, Caleb Williams, and the confidence in Chicago's locker room is growing. Still, coming to FedEx Field on Monday night is a different kind of challenge. The Commanders have been playing with swagger at home, and the fans have brought that energy back. Oddsmaker have Washington as 4.5-point favorites, mostly because of that home field advantage, but make no mistake, this one's going to be a battle. 2 young quarterbacks, 2 teams still trying to find consistency, and a lot of pride on the line under the primetime lights. Now, one of the most fascinating storylines heading into this matchup is what Ben Johnson said about Daniels earlier this week. And let me tell you, his comments are going to make Commanders fans smile. When asked about how his defense plans to handle Washington's young quarterback, Johnson didn't mince words. He's dangerous. I think that's a big reason why their running game is what it is. He strikes a lot of fear in opposing coaches because you've got to account for him not just as an accurate passer, not just as a scrambler, but the quarterback-driven run game they do a lot of. He's fast, slippery. It's going to take all 11 guys playing disciplined football to contain him. That's real respect right there. Daniels is only in his second season, but he's already earned that fear factor status around the league. And it's true, Jayden Daniels changes everything for this team. His dual threat ability opens up the run game, his accuracy keeps defenses honest, and his composure under pressure is beyond his years. When the lights get brighter, Daniels shines. That's what we saw last year, and that's what Commanders fans are counting on again Monday night. If you zoom out for a second, this whole situation, the injuries, the tough games, the uncertainty, it's actually shaping the identity of this football team. This isn't just about one game against Chicago. It's about proving that Washington can adapt, that they can compete even when the stars are down. That's how winning cultures are built. Dan Quinn and Adam Peters have talked about this since day one: toughness, accountability, and resilience. And every time the Commanders find a way to win through adversity, that identity gets stronger. So yeah, losing McLaurin hurts. Potentially losing Debo hurts even more. But if this team finds a way to grind out another victory on Monday night, it'll be one of those rally games that fans remember all season. The Washington Commanders are stepping back under the lights for Monday Night Football in Week 6. And folks, this is not the same Commanders team we saw at the start of the season. This is a team that's learning how to win, how to dominate, and how to silence the critics who doubted Dan Quinn's vision from day one.
Sure, the Chicago Bears come in looking for revenge after last year's heartbreak, that wild Hail Mary loss that's still haunting their fan base. But this time, Washington holds the upper hand. The Commanders enter the matchup favored for a reason, and there's a breakout brewing that nobody, outside of Ashburn, seems to be talking about. Let's shift the focus to one player who's about to change the narrative for Washington's defense: Johnny Newton. If you haven't been paying attention, now's the time to wake up. The 2024 second-round pick out of Illinois is quietly becoming one of the most exciting young defensive linemen in the league. For months, fans were talking about Daron Payne, about Javon Kinlaw, about how this defensive front would survive after trading away Chase Young and Montez Sweat last year. But guess what? The defensive line didn't just survive, it got better. And Newton is a big part of that reason. Against the Los Angeles Chargers in Week 5, Johnny Newton had what you might call his coming-out party. The young defensive tackle was explosive, disruptive, and absolutely relentless. He worked in rotation with Payne and Kinlaw, but when he was on the field, you could feel it. That burst off the snap, the violent hand movement, the leverage, it's something that jumps off the screen. And here's the kicker: this guy is just scratching the surface. From injury to impact, Newton's first offseason in Washington didn't go as planned. He dealt with lingering injuries that slowed down his early development, leaving some fans wondering if he'd be ready to make a year-two leap. But credit to the Commanders' strength and conditioning staff and to Newton himself for turning that around. He spent the offseason transforming his body, building strength, and learning the finer points of Joe Witt Jr.'s system. The result? A defensive tackle who can wreck plays from the inside. He's not just plugging gaps, he's penetrating them. His first step is among the quickest in the league for a man his size, and when he gets those hands inside, offensive linemen are in trouble. The Commanders are smartly using him in situations that highlight his explosiveness. Passing downs, third and long moments, those key sequences where a single sack or pressure can flip a drive. And with a national audience watching on Monday night, Newton has the chance to announce himself to the entire NFL. Now let's talk about what makes this matchup so fascinating. The Bears are coming off their bye week, which means they'll be rested and ready. But here's the issue for Chicago. Their offensive line, even with off-season upgrades, is still very much a work in progress. And they're about to face one of the underrated defensive fronts in football. Rookie quarterback Caleb Williams, the #1 overall pick, has been electric in flashes. He's special, there's no denying that. But one of his biggest flaws? He holds onto the football longer than anyone in the league. That's a dangerous habit against a front like Washington's, because when you got Daron Payne collapsing the pocket, Javon Kinlaw winning one-on-one battles, and Johnny Newton bursting through gaps like a missile, bad things happen for opposing quarterbacks. If the Commanders can get to Williams early, make him uncomfortable, and take away his confidence, this could be another statement win for Dan Quinn's team. Now let's take a second to appreciate the job Dan Quinn and Adam Peters have done with this roster. Remember when everyone said the Commanders were starting from scratch, that this would be a rebuild year? Yeah, about that. This doesn't look like a rebuild. This looks like a team being reborn. Quinn has this defense playing fast, aggressive, and fearless. Adam Peters' personnel decisions, from trading for Marshawn Lattimore to drafting Johnny Newton, have all been about one thing: creating a culture built on accountability and energy. When you talk to players around the locker room, there's a consistent message. They trust the process. They believe in what this coaching staff is building, and you can see it on the field. Even with key injuries on offense, Terry McLaurin banged up, Deebo Samuel questionable, and Austin Eckler lost for the year, this defense has kept Washington in every game. They've been the heartbeat of this team, and Newton's emergence is adding even more juice to an already dangerous unit. Primetime games have a way of revealing who's for real and who's just hype. And make no mistake, this Monday night matchup is a golden opportunity for Washington to make a statement. The Bears will come in with momentum, but Washington's got something deeper: resilience. They've battled injuries, tough road trips, and uneven performances, yet here they are with a winning record and the chance to go 4-2. And if Johnny Newton delivers again, we might be looking at the birth of the Commanders' next defensive star. Imagine this: Payne, Kinlaw, and Newton, a three-headed monster controlling the trenches. That's the kind of dominance Dan Quinn thrives on. That's how you win in December. That's how you build championship DNA. All right, Commanders fans, it's your turn to weigh in. How concerned are you about Deebo Samuel's injury? Do you think Jaden Daniels can still lead this team to victory if Deebo doesn't suit up? And who do you want to see step up in the passing game? Luke McCaffrey, Jalen Lane, or maybe one of the tight ends? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear from the entire Commanders HQ family. And before you go, hit that like button, subscribe to Commanders HQ, and make sure to turn on notifications so you never miss an update. This channel is built for fans like you, passionate, loyal, and always ready to talk Commanders football. Washington's got a primetime fight ahead, and whether Deebo plays or not, one thing's certain: this team will show up ready to battle. This is Commanders HQ. I'm your host, and as always, hail to the Commanders.